I didn't think we were gonna go that long on.
Oh, that's too bad. Okay, Sasha, you got to do it all over.
No, don't worry. I'll just do a blog. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great. Do a
Yeah,
blog
I'll
on,
do a blog.
actually, don't do a blog. Do a video and do exactly what you did.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay,
then
cool.
throw
I'll
the
do that.
video at one of your AI models and have it translate it into a
Into a
blog.
blog. And then we'll
Really?
embed the
That's
video.
what
Convert the
that's what
video into a blog.
yeah. So that's what Brian Dawson
That's
does.
amazing.
He's you could reach out to Brian because he's done that before where he's taken recordings and had them transcribed into a blog.
No ways. I actually didn't think of doing that. That's actually pretty insane.
You could give it a go, but if it doesn't turn out, he has an MCP that he uses to do it. I don't know the name of it,
Nice.
but
Okay.
it could be that playwright one, but don't quote me.
Playwright. Yeah.
All right, so let me bring everybody up to speed and what we got going on. Um, so I have reworked a lot of the UI layout and added in. Let me bring up a repo as well. Uh, so what I've done is I've added in a login and a create new account process. So I have to push this out. So this is the local one. I'm just fixing some linting errors. And then I'll push out the clean code base here in the next half hour after we finish up with our meeting. So what I've done is I've added um, a message bar. So we actually have a message bar. So if we want to say like we're gonna have maintenance this weekend or something like that, but right now I've added in so because you're not logged in, you're viewing all public open source repositories. So these are because Deploy Hub and Ortelius are had the public repos. Um, you're able to view what's down inside of them. So you're right now the dashboard is scoped to the organization that you've selected. So here you can see that we have 100 total CVEs. If I switch over the Ortelius one, we have 18 CVEs. Um, so all the metrics and stuff are scoped to those specific organizations. And you can go dive down into like this one. We have two medium CVEs able to get to that data at that level. So it's the walking through what is out there is working out really nice. One of the things I have to do is because we're looking at all the open source repositories, I still need to add a filter over here to filter on the number of organizations. So when you go past the first page, um, we're able to do a filter on the name of the organization, or if you want to see all organizations that are critical, that type of thing. If you do log in, um, what ends up happening is it's going to um, just filter to the organizations that your profile is associated to. So if you look at my profile, I have DevOps Tribe and Deploy Hub are my two organizations. I am going to add a way to also associate yourself to open source repositories. So if you want to look at the Ortelius one while you're signed in, so you don't have to jump back and forth, I'm going to add in a way to add the open source repositories to your profile so you can view those things all at once without having to sign in and sign out at that level. So if we go back up to switch my org, I'm just looking at the same data that's scoped to the org that I have associated to it. Other things I've added, if you need to do screenshots, it will actually screenshot the specific part that's been highlighted. So if you want just like that part, you just click on it and it'll download it as a SVG. So these are pure SVGs that will scale nicely without having to do any funky screenshot screen captures with PNGs and stuff like that. Um, so it makes it very handy on that front. Trying to think what else. Oh, if I can get out of it. We do have light and dark mode. So that is available. So all that is out there. And also all the links. So if you like this section here is going to be associated to RV1 in the NIST secure software framework. And it shows how that section is meeting those requirements from the NIST framework. So you have all the nice good details here. And if you want to see the official source, you can actually go over and look at the actual document itself, um, just from that quick link there. So that's where we're at. The dashboard, the sync endpoints project releases are done. Mitigations and vulnerabilities. I still have to work on those two lists and some of the details, but I wanted to get that out. So as far as like onboarding, um, Jing, some of the work that you've done on the that watchtower, um, where we're going to watch for a release. I'm going to be plugging that in and also plugging in um, basically a Lambda to watch for changes in a Kubernetes cluster through the audit logs to be able to create releases and stuff like that. One of the things I did implement, um, oh, interesting. GitHub just crashed.
Sweet.
You got a unicorn.
Why did GitHub just crash? That's interesting. Let me see. That's crazy.
Sometimes it happens.
Go to their status page there. See, maybe
Is
they've
that for
got an issue.
everybody? Can anybody else get to GitHub?
Yeah, let me check. So GitHub
I can.
status.
It could be just that file.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can get to it, Steve. Not that file, I haven't tried, but I could get to GitHub.
Oh,
Yeah, I
there it
can
loaded.
get to mine as well.
Yeah,
It
that was
does
it.
it
I
does
had
say on
opened
their
it.
site that sorry, API
Yep,
requests is experiencing degraded availability. We are continuing to investigate.
yep. So that's what we're running into. GitHub's limping along. Um,
Yeah,
so one of the things I did implement for security was following kind of along the lines of the Kubernetes RBAC. So we have our orgs with the members in their role, and then our users with their different types of authentication. Um, so that uh, comes into play because then we do a pure the whole permissions model is based on infrastructure as code or configuration as code, however you want to look at it. So all the permissions are managed here. You could do pull requests at that level against the this repo if you want to get changes in. Also, I've figured out, I haven't implemented it yet, but if a particular organization like the Acme company wants to manage their own RBAC in their own repo, they can do that, and then we would go out and aggregate those RBACs together. Um, so you can have org specific permissions that are managed just by that organization, and then we'll pull those into like this master RBAC that would allow us to um, have everything consolidated together and managed. So basically, nobody would be able to get to this repo. It would actually become private and only used by the Ortelius backend, basically. So it's coming together really nice. The permission model, the UI at that level. Trying to think what else we got going on. Whoops. Change my menu, sign out. You'll see occasionally there are some I got to go in. There's some weird things with some of the pieces not respecting the dark mode theme. Um, but that what I do is I just take the code base or give it a screenshot of what's broken and tell the AI model to go and fix it. Looks like there's somebody through a yeah, there's basically a something happening on the CSS side. So that's kind of like where we're at.
How about on the onboarding? Did you ever figure out how to be able to easily connect to a repo or log into a private repo?
Yes. So it's interesting. And that's where if we go, let me sign back in. I have
It's
figured
looking
that
really
out.
good, Steve. Jeepers. Looks so cool.
So what will happen is there'll be another section here that will be integrations or connectors. I'll probably call it connectors. So to get to like your list of repositories, I don't know if GitHub's going to act up or not. So what it ends up being is, I think it's under settings. I think it's under applications. So what we have to do is create. So I was looking at the way Sneak was doing it, and let me go try to see if it will. I think this will get me where I want to go. It may or may not work because of GitHub being, yeah, their API is failing. But basically, what I figured out is um, when we create a connector, um, if you want to go and import your specific list of repos that you have, um, to talk to GitHub, you create a GitHub app. Um, and it doesn't look, and it looked like it's just some YAML files that are needed to connect up to GitHub using an app. So when you say click on the connect button from your profile page here, you say connect to GitHub, it would actually use the app. You approve the app to be installed, and then that app gives you the permissions to look at the list of repos, um, the workflow logs, that type of thing is the permission model that is given to Ortelius to go and fetch that stuff. So it's an easy way to make the connection between um, uh, the Ortelius side and like GitHub. Now with GitLab, you end up using a GitLab token, to access your profile, your repo. So in GitLab, they have a token level that you approve the token for certain, like API access, I think is the permission that you need.
So that
Um,
gives us the repository, and then do we have the code repository? So for
mhm.
open source projects, then we will also want to connect the binary repository. Have you had?
Yeah, so that would be another connector. So if you want to connect up to Nexus or Artifactory, you'd have another connector that would connect us to those binary repositories.
So how
Um,
long will it be before we're at a point where some of us can start bringing in open source projects?
that's the next step is to start doing the connections. So what I'm going to do is if these two steps, these two buttons here, mitigation and vulnerabilities, I may just hide them for now because they're not fully implemented, um, and focus on just the dashboard, the synced endpoints, and project releases. And
That I think is the way to go. I think we have to make sure that the onboarding is easy before we go any farther on this version.
yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm not going to focus on these two lists
Because we
and
still have
focus
a
on the
third, we still have the third thing to do, which is the Kubernetes audit file.
that would be that is another that would get implemented through a platform engineering Terraform deployment.
Well, we'll have
Um,
to, that's going to have to be easy. So let's get the other two done because I think we're going to really have to flush that last one out as best as we can.
yeah, and uh,
And Sasha, on that last one, we're really going to look to you for giving us input on how well it fits into what platform engineers are used to seeing.
Cool, yeah, no worries.
Because we need to make it, we don't want to look like a goose. We want to be a duck.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
we don't want to be a
basically,
goose. We want to be a duck. What does that mean?
yeah,
Haven't you ever played Duck Duck Goose when you were a kid?
No. What is duck, duck,
Really?
goose? Yeah.
You never played Duck Duck Goose?
No.
You sit in a circle and you go
Yeah.
and you touch people's head. You say duck, 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 and then you touch one and you say goose, and they have to get up and run around, and whoever can get to this place for to sit down gets to sit down.
Oh,
Duck,
okay,
duck,
okay. That
goose.
does
So you
ring a
don't want to
bell. I don't
be,
know.
you don't want to
I
be
don't know what this
pointed
was
out as
called.
being, you don't want to be the one
I
tagged as being the
see.
weird one.
Okay, cool. Thanks. No, that makes sense
So
now.
we
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
be
yeah,
a duck,
exactly.
not a goose.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We want to be a duck, not a goose. Exactly.
uh, so here it logged in. So this is, yeah, it's they're having problems, but basically, what you're able to utilize is the GitHub app here, uh, GitLab. GitLab here is the token, um, Docker Hub, GCR, ECR, all the container registries. So we would be following basically picking a subset to get started with. We're not going to do Bitbucket or Azure, for example. They're just not, hardly anybody uses those. Uh, they're out there. If you're a big Microsoft shop and you've doing everything on the Microsoft side, then it would make sense to deal with Azure. But for what we're going to be focusing on, GitHub, GitLab are going to be our two main source code repositories. Um, Docker Hub, uh, ECR, GCR, probably Quay, probably Harbor too. We'd have to look at how many folks are actually using Harbor.
Mm,
And then we get into Nexus, Artifactory are other ones that we may want to consider. And
mm.
trying to think what else.
Maybe even JFrog, and there's another one, Cloudsmith.
Yeah, JFrog is Artifactory and Sonatype is Nexus.
Yeah, and there's also a really good one that I've discovered, well, that I've used called Cloudsmith. It's also really
Yeah,
great.
yeah, I've heard that one before, but I have the obviously it's not that popular because it hasn't popped up here yet. But
Ah,
we'll have
okay.
to look at it. Maybe it's down here. PHP. All those are web plugins. But that's kind of like where we're headed. So on the a quick question for you, Sasha. Let me stop sharing. On the when somebody deploys, we're running into this with Space Force where they are deploying to they call it a Linux NUC. I think it's
Linux, no.
NUC. I think it just means like a basically like what I'm running a mini PC.
Oh,
I think that's what they're calling a NUC NUC. Um, it's just a part of the hardware, just like a Raspberry Pi basically, but a little bit bigger. Um, when folks deploy to a single bare metal machine to run Kubernetes, do they ever run Kubernetes natively, or are they going to run like a K3s?
I
Um,
use K3s because it's
yeah,
so easy.
yeah. So they're not doing a full native Kubernetes on a single
Yeah,
CPU.
Kubernetes the hard way.
Yeah, that's what I
Like doing
thought.
it. I use K3s because I've got a thing called K3s up. It
Yeah.
allows me to upgrade my nodes like so easy. It's amazing. Yeah, it
So
works so amazing.
it's a single PC running multiple virtual nodes, different node processes on that same hardware, right? It,
I'm trying to
or
so
is
on
it
my
is it
Pi, each of my Pis are K3s. Yeah,
but they're
I'm
each
running Ubuntu with K3s. Yeah,
right? But do you have multiple pieces of hardware run each one acting as a node, right?
yeah. I've got nine of them. Yeah, each one is running Ubuntu, the same version of Ubuntu and the same version of K3s on each one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then the control plane's pulling them all together.
yeah. That's all together.
Well, now what happens if it's a one to one? So if you have one CPU and one node, or are you able to use one CPU and do two nodes on that same CPU? Is that possible through
Um,
K3s?
I'm trying. So, what do you want to do? Do you want to split up the way you use your CPUs for the K3's instances that are running?
Yeah, so I'm wondering is can you spin up multiple nodes on a single piece of hardware?
Oh, you want to spin up multiple K3's instances on one piece of hardware? Is
Right.
that what you want to do?
Yeah.
That's a really cool question. I don't see why you can't because K3's is a single binary. So if you're clever, you could probably just start it up on a custom port, right?
Okay.
So you get a CLI with it.
Yeah.
Let me see. It's actually such a cool question.
Because I'm trying
Yeah,
to
I know
figure out
exactly what
how
you're trying to do. Yeah, that's really cool. K3's. I'll have to go into one of my machines. Pi 01. Let me just go there. That's a really cool question. So I know what you want to do. So you have one machine, but you can run multiple instances of K3. So you could actually potentially, in a sense, have multiple clusters running on a single piece, on a single physical node. Yes, that's crazy. That's cool. Let me just see. Yeah, because K3s comes with a CLI, right? So if you can control it through a CLI and it has a service, so you can just configure the service, right? I think you could probably do that, eh?
Oh, it looks like there's this
I think you could do
multipass
that.
tool for launching managing multiple VMs with K3s in each VM. There's the K3D thing, which I've actually used.
I see there's a K3 in the CLI. You can run K3s, uh, K3s server, and then there's a config, right? And yeah, bind address, HTTP listen port. So K3's bind address, default 0.0.0.0. HTTPS listen port, default 6443, which is, the default Kubernetes port. So
right?
I wonder if you could probably do that, eh? I don't see why not.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure. I'm gonna have to bug these guys and how they're actually have their Kubernetes environment set up. So basically, what they've done is,
Have they done that?
do you know what a Pelican case is?
I've heard of that. Why does that sound familiar? Pelican case. Oh,
Uh,
is it like for like storing your camera in or your like
yeah,
movie equipment
yeah.
in?
So what
Stuff
they've
like
done
that.
is they throw a bunch of hardware into this shipping case,
Yeah.
and they have switches and routers and um, the CPU in there, and then they have everything configured as a Kubernetes environment on the go.
No ways. So you can pick it up and just
You
open it
you
up and
literally
it's
can
still
you
it's
could
running.
literally yeah you could literally plug the case in to a power supply and off it
No ways.
goes.
They wired up the case so you can plug it in the case and the Kubernetes just starts running.
Yeah. And that's
That's
why I'm trying to figure out if they
incredible.
have multiple, if they're running a single node, single K3s, or if they've actually, if it's technically possible to run multiple nodes off of a single CPU hardware.
That's such a cool question. Because I wouldn't, I don't see why you couldn't, right?
Yeah,
Because it's
it
got a
just gets
CLI.
complicated, it looks like.
I think it gets really complicated though, because you've got to run multiple binaries or instances of that. But I'm sure you could do it in an isolated way, right?
Well, you
Must
could
be a,
do it by standing up multiple VMs on,
yeah,
run
you could do
multiple
that.
VMs of each one being a node.
Yeah, yeah, you could do
So
that.
what you do
That's
is
true.
you have the bare hardware of that Ubuntu instance launch two VMs that are running Ubuntu, each running Ubuntu, and those VMs have K3s in it that are going to create the con with a control plane to tie the two VMs together. I think that would be the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, that's really, that's quite a lot of setup there. Yeah.
But then you get some sort of redundancy between the VMs, but not your fail point is the hardware side. If the hardware
Yeah, yeah,
crashes,
yeah, yeah.
you're not
So
going to
what
be
do they have?
redundant.
Is it like a Pelican case full of Raspberry Pis kind of thing?
That's the thing. They only have one CPU in it, one piece of bare metal in it.
Oh my word! And they're running multiple instances, multiple clusters, Kubernetes clusters like that.
Well, they're going to run multiple nodes tied together into a cluster. So multiple virtual nodes.
Oh, multiple virtual nodes. Yeah, so they're probably using some type of virtualization, maybe like a Proxmox or something like that, do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're probably launching it with what's that mini virtual node virtual mini VM. It's not like what is it open not OpenStack.
Jason. Oh
Uh
yeah, OpenStack. You could use OpenStack too. Yeah.
yeah, some of those are really heavyweight. Like VMware is a very
Yeah.
heavyweight.
Oh, it's too heavy. Yeah, yeah.
But they have a mini. There is a mini
There's
virtualization. I can't remember the name of the open source project.
yeah, there is. There's a very lightweight thing, right? You can use.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I haven't dug into that stuff either. Yeah.
it's what Rancher uses to run um K3s on a Mac.
Ah, they virtualize it in a
Yeah,
way.
they kick off a VM in the background that runs Linux to run K3s because they just didn't want to go the whole porting route to port. Rancher didn't want to port K3s to Mac. It was it was just easier for them to spin up a VM and do go that route.
Yeah, makes sense.
So, anyways, all right. Thanks for confirming what my suspicions.
Yeah, geez, that was new for me too. I'm sort of doing it that way. Yeah.
So, like I said, I'm going to hide those couple menu items off of the UI and then focus on tying together uh, the connecting together those make those connections to GitHub, to GitLab, to the artifact repositories, and also to uh, that would be part of it to bring in the source code repos, tie those together. Um, I do need to write a part to look at the workflow logs to look for when a Docker image is created. Basically scan the log to see if for this repo what was created. Bring that information in as a release for the repos, and then also utilize what Jinx put together, monitoring the release side of things. So if there's a GitHub release created, we can go that route as well. Um, and then look at being able to uh, do the platform engineering side for looking at the deployment side. I have the code written. I just got to reorganize it. What we're going to end up doing is um, utilizing Kafka as a message bus. So when we find a deployment, so kind of the architecture I'm thinking of is we'll create a Lambda or a cloud function for Google that goes out on a timer that says, okay, you've deployed a new update to your Kubernetes cluster. Um, Let me go grab the image tag from the Kubernetes log, fetch the SBOM for that, and then create a Kafka message that will get sent off to a well-known message bus location. And then as part of the payload will be the deployment information plus the SBOM that will get sent over to the message bus. The message bus on the Ortelius server side will be subscribed to that. So go, oh, I got a new release coming in, and I'll load that release into our Arango database. Um, so that's good. We're going to use the Kafka message bus as the way to move things around instead of direct API calls. Just gives a a layer of abstraction, so we can push things around really easily. So that's kind of where we're headed
Interesting.
on that front. So
Okay.
um, read up on Kafka. If
Okay.
Kafka, both AWS and GK, Google support it. They have their own slight different flavor of it, how they implement
Yeah. Yeah.
security around it, but it should let us abstract things out real easily to move things around data wise.
And what about that other messaging that isn't there a CNCF messaging tool or was it a
Oh
CDF?
yeah, it was like Kafka on steroids.
You remember you
It
were
was
talking about it.
yeah, I can't remember the
Uh,
name of it now.
and it was apparently it's actually better than Kafka, I think.
Yeah, it had more resiliency.
Yes, that was
It
it.
could it was more, I think, designed for like credit card transactions and things like that.
Ah,
High
okay.
high frequency, high traffic environments that needed to deal with
Nats.
failover.
Wasn't it called Nats?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep,
And
that
so
was
we
his
wouldn't be interested in using that, but because it's not provided by a provider, right? You'd have
right.
to set it up yourself, right? You'd have
Yeah,
to
yeah.
build it yourself and set it up. Okay. Okay, I see.
Yeah, we're gonna go the managed route and take the easy way out.
Manage route. Yeah, it makes sense. Okay.
So
And
manage
then
Kafka on AWS, manage Kafka on Google.
yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense. And then there's a guy on LinkedIn that contacted me about I just put it in the channel there. It's called Falco DB. I also let Utkarsh know. It's apparently some type of graph database that they have. Um, that that is designed to power Gen AI. And because we're developing, I just wanted to bring it to your attention.
Yeah, I have to look at
I'll
it.
put him in contact with like I say, with Utkarsh, because Utkarsh would also really know much better than me. Um, and I asked him if he would be, I don't know, maybe talk at one of our events about it, right? And why you would use this versus anything else,
Yeah,
right? And I just wanted to put that out there to you so that it could be, if someone could, if we wouldn't mind him doing that at some stage, or doing a
yeah,
podcast with him or
definitely.
something, just to
Yeah,
hear like why would you use Falcor DB, versus another type of database storage for a Gen AI, and what makes them so much faster? They've got some sort of clever way of doing their database is configured in such a way that makes it extremely fast or much
yeah,
faster, let's say.
yeah. I'd
So
have
I
to
put in
look
the channel
at.
there for I put it in the channel there, falcordb.com, for everybody to have a look at if you want to have a look at it.
Yeah, it looks like. Oh, they gotta go.
I don't know if we would be able to make use of it because I think you can provision it yourself, right? So there's like
Yeah,
Falcor DB versus Neo4j,
and that's
Falcor
what
DB versus Vector.
we currently provision. We currently provision Orango as part of our Helm charts, which isn't a big deal.
Yeah, yeah.
The
Okay,
big
okay.
thing is translating the query language could be the challenging part since we're so far down the road with Orango.
Yeah, but I was thinking about what Ukosh was building. Would he wouldn't be able to use this for Ortelius, right? Because he would tie into a Rango, right? Is that right?
Uh, it's hard to tell if this is a. So the thing with Orango is it's like a hybrid between a document database and a graph database.
Ah,
So like MongoDB is a pure document database. Um,
yes.
and like Neo4j is a pure graphing database. And
Yeah.
Orango is kind of like the best of both worlds. So I'd
Ah,
have to do some research on how the query language works with this.
okay. No, I don't want to give you extra work. He pinged me on LinkedIn. He pinged me on LinkedIn. I posted it to Utkarsh, said, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And then and then I just wanted to mention it to you.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
because
architecture.
we do our implementation is what's called the hub and spoke
Mm,
implementation, and our hub is all the pearls. Um, the package URLs is like our central hub, and that's used to relate all the different tables together, goes through that. And some of our tables right now have a million rows in them.
yo.
But it's really quick. So let me show you something real quick before we share that. So if we go over to page speed, and if we actually, so this is the app.deployapp.com is our live site. Um, so if you can get to that right now, I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna next half hour I'm gonna be pushing a change out.
Mm,
But if we look at page speed insights, it's going to give us the page speed. Um, so our performance is at 98% performance, and we're loading in under a half a second the whole site. So,
whoa. Pretty
which is
good.
really fast.
Yeah, that's really good.
I mean, our first page content is point 0.2, um, which
Wow,
is
that's really good.
really good, and that's
Yeah.
bringing up our data there. So if I go to, I'm trying to think, I'd have to do some extra stuff, but we are really good at our networking. I haven't even optimized our networking yet, the chaining. There's some work that I can do to add in like the pre-connect candidates and things like that um, into that. Once the whole thing settles down, I'm not making as many changes. We'll be able to dive into that. Um, and even like accessibility, we're looking really good on that. And best practices. Oh, there's one thing I know that is failing to load. I just have to fix that. That'll go out with my next update here. So we'll actually be better. The best practices score will go to 100 here soon. So we're with
Wow,
our GraphQL. I'm sorry, with our ArangoDB using our graphing um, queries. We're coming in really high score, which is really nice.
that's good. Yeah. So is that the I was going to ask you the URLs app.deployout.com. That's the
Yep,
demo
yep.
site.
That's our
Yeah, yeah,
current demo
yeah,
data.
yeah.
So, uh, and I'm going to be adding in the uh, ability to I'm the authentication stuff is a little bit messed up, but I'm what I'll do is and some of those I have to enable the Gmail account so it'll send out invitations correctly. Um, so I'll get that out there and I'll let everybody know on Discord that I'll go out there and sign folks up so you can play with it with your own account.
Cool.
But
Yeah, it
if you
looks
just
so
go
good.
if you go there without any login, you'll get all the public data. So
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. It's awesome.
so that's where we're at. Not too bad of a to-do list. So
Yeah,
we'll get there. Any
yeah, it's looking
questions,
great.
comments from anybody? Coming up at the end of the hour. Alrighty.
Everything, yeah, it looks really good though, Steve.
Oh, thanks. And everybody bug Sasha when they can't get their open router set up
Yeah,
and
definitely.
your CCS. Sasha will be up all night for
Yeah, I'll
us.
be there.
So make sure you
It's
ping
not a
them,
problem, guys.
with a exclamation point and flashing warning sign, flashing lights at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
signing off soon, right, Sasha? Your time, same time. We are in the same time zone.
Yeah,
We are, Jing. Arvin's way ahead of us, like three and a
yeah.
half
Oh,
hours.
Arvin's already headed into the AM.
He's only just
The
had his
wrong AM.
breakfast. Yeah,
People in
exactly.
people in Australia and Japan are way ahead of me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
All right.
exactly.
Thanks, everybody. We'll
Thanks,
stay in touch
everyone.
on Discord.
Cool. See you later.
See ya.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.